And good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show, the video live stream edition for your, Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. March, how are we in March already?
In like a lamb, I think.
Is it in like a lamb?
Well, yesterday was pretty mild.
Okay.
Cold, but mild.
All right. Nancy Kiernan is here. She's the director of the Greater Bridgman Area Chamber and Growth Alliance. Always optimistic.
That's right. Absolutely.
If it's in like a lamb instead of like a lion, what's it going to go out like?
Windy, I think.
Okay. Out like a lion.
Yes.
Nancy Kiernan is here. Also special guest Jordan Painter from Keystone Home Group. You're the owner of that outfit. What is that outfit? What is Keystone Home Group?
Keystone Home Group is a residential real estate brokerage out of West Michigan, Grand Rapids area. And then we run Book and Gather out of Southwest Michigan, which is our property management company for hospitality assets and short-term rentals.
Book and Gather.
Book and Gather.
That is a cool name.
Thank you.
Who came up with that name?
Every time we roll up a new business, coming up with a name that's not taken, that's unique, and that resonates is always difficult. So months of brainstorming, and we rolled it out.
Come on, months of brainstorming. It came to you like in a dream or something.
I don't know. I think that was actually before ChatGPT made things easier. So we actually did have to come up with that one. So.
I love that. Book and Gather, because it immediately tells you, well, you book the place and you're going to gather and have a good time, right? Is that what
friends
that's
and
the idea?
family?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. That's the idea.
Jordan is here this morning because you're doing big things in Bridgman. What's going on?
So we recently purchased the Bridgman Inn, and we are rolling out the remodel and from top to bottom, getting a refresh. And we're excited to be a part of the community. And there's seems to be a lot of local excitement around cleaning that building up. And
we could not be more excited.
Yeah,
that is so cool. I mean, for the CGA, the Greater Bridgman Area Chamber and Growth Alliance, I mean, this is right in your wheelhouse. Growth, right?
Absolutely. And it's just such a great, quaint, it's a landmark in our community, and it needs a refresh. And Jordan and his group are going to do a great job, we're sure. And boy, as he hit the ground. I mean, there was a Facebook post or something of you yourself personally knocking down the old sign.
I wish I could take credit. It was actually our contractor that sent the video to me, but I told him when that sign comes down, I need evidence. People are gonna want to see
it was like goodbye, and over it went.
Yep. What are you guys going to do with the Bridgman Inn sign?
You know what? It's gone. So I don't know exactly.
You don't know where it is.
It is not coming back. So,
and so as we talked about briefly on the radio last hour, it's no longer known as the Bridgman Inn. It's going to be.
It's the Warren Hotel.
The Warren Hotel.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And how did you come with that name?
Yeah. So similar to what I described earlier, we initially were actually going to call it the Dune Side. Okay. And so we were looking at branding and kind of our avatar that we want to attract to come to our place, and we decided to go against the beach theme. There's already a lot of those type of properties around, so we wanted to go something that was just a little bit more inviting and a little bit more exclusive. And so we looked at a few different options, trying to tie in some of the local geographic things that bring people in. So the Warren Dunes was something that we felt like was a big draw in the area. And so we kind of used that to name it.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. We're here with Jordan Painter, and owner of now and developer of the Warren Hotel, which sits on the site of the former Bridgman Inn. Is that right? Bridgman Inn.
Yep.
Okay. And also Nancy Kiernan is here. We have to get back on the radio. This is the WSJM Morning Show, back with local news. We'll have that full story about what's happening down in Bridgman in just a few moments.
FastCash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning, I'm Ken Lundberg. It is your Tuesday, 3rd of March. Forecast for today does call for cloudy skies, 50% chance of rain, maybe some freezing drizzle this morning. High around 45 degrees, light winds out of the east, then turning to the north. 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast cloudy, a 40% chance of rain, a low around 33. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 40% chance of showers, high around 50. Let's skip over everything else because there's probably just going to be rain on Thursday. Friday, some rain possible as well. But the temperatures on Friday and Saturday going to go up to 64 degrees.
There you go.
Nancy Kiernan, what do you think about that?
I think that I saw your forsythia bush out front. It has blossoms or buds on it.
Oh,
so
yeah. They're ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're ready.
Spring is
Are
ready.
We not ready?
We are totally ready. We have earned it after this long winter.
I believe so.
We are going to be talking with Nancy Kiernan. She's the director of the Greater Bridgman Area Chamber and Growth Alliance. And Jordan Painter, she brought a special guest in today. He's with Keystone Home Group. But more importantly, he's part of the big effort that is changing the Bridgman Inn, which is no more, into the Warren Hotel. So we'll talk about that this hour right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We have both of them in studio all hour long. Nancy, Jordan came in and said, I'm here for 10 minutes, right?
Is that what you said?
I thought that's what the email said.
Oh, no.
All right. Communication, people. All right. No. So we'll be here for the full hour. Jordan has agreed to it. I got it in writing. All right. No, we'll be back with that interview in just a moment. We'll start that off. But first off, some local news from the WSJM newsroom. Benton Harbor City Commissioners say the city remains able to meet its financial obligations. You never want a news story to start out like that. During Monday's meeting, Commissioner Shaquille Turner asked City Manager Alex Little whether or not the city would be able to pay its bills following a temporary delay last month in transferring income tax dollars to the general fund.
It was stated that the city of Benton Harbor will not have enough funds to pay its bill for the month of March. Can we make sure we have clarity, because it was said that we don't have money in our account to pay bills, which I know we do, but I will make sure it's out in public that we will pay our bills and staff this month.
On February 2nd, Little requested an emergency transfer of about $420,000 for day-to-day operations. Commissioners initially delayed approval pending more detail, but later approved the transfer. Mayor Marcus Muhammad said that vote clarified the situation.
That's exactly correct. In transferring the $420,000, not only will we be able to pay staff, but we'll also be able to pay our bills.
Little says with the $420,000 now available, the city will meet its obligations and pay city staff. The Berrien County Health Department is warning residents about the risks of certain over-the-counter kratom products. Health Officer Guy Miller says they contain a synthetic opioid known as 7-OH.
Withdrawal symptoms are severe. People get very, very sick after not having their dosage of kratom if they've been on it for a while. And some of the providers are saying it takes a lot more opioid reversal drugs to get people at a good place after they've been on this drug than it would like a natural opioid.
Miller says kratom is marketed as an energy booster, mood enhancer, pain reliever, and an aid for opioid withdrawal. I wonder if they put lottery tickets in there as well. But products may be sold as pills or drinks, and they're largely unregulated.
A lot of the people using it just assume that since this is legal and this is labeled natural, it must be safe. And that's not always true, because what I'm hearing from local providers is very innocently people have been taking this product and getting really, really sick from it.
He says 7-OH is not approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for medical use and does not meet safety standards for dietary supplements. The department urges residents to consult a doctor before using such products and not to assume legality equals safety. And the city of Bridgman is updating its master plan, and they're seeking public input. City officials say the plan will guide decisions on housing, parks, transportation, economic development, and other priorities for years to come. A survey is now available online for residents, business owners, and community members. The city says it only takes a few minutes to complete the survey. We have a link to that available at our website. That is at WSJM.com. So if you want to have an influence there, go to our website, get the link, and take the survey. That's a look at some of the local news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom. We have sports coming up in just a moment. First off, want to introduce our special guests who will be here with us this entire hour. You'll hear good portions of the interview on the radio. You'll hear the full thing on the video live stream that we have up and operating right now at YouTube, Facebook, and our WSJM Smart app. In the studio, Nancy Kiernan, who is the director of the Greater Bridgman Area Chamber and Growth Alliance. She has brought a special guest in. Why don't you introduce our guest, Jordan Painter?
Absolutely. We're very pleased to have Jordan in Bridgman nowadays, because he's going to do wonderful things for the Warren Inn, right?
The Warren Hotel.
Warren Hotel, sorry. It's former Bridgman Inn. And really, it's funny, every year I get people calling at the last minute looking for a place to stay in Bridgman, because everybody wants to come. We have two of the absolute best beaches in all of our, all
Yeah,
of Southwest
probably the
Michigan.
world. Yeah.
And probably the world. And absolutely. And everyone's always looking for a place to stay. And we're going to have now a really wonderful place right near both of those beaches. And I think that you're going to get it together pretty quickly, aren't you? When are you going to have it open?
Yeah, so we are hoping to, we are going to be opening for bookings mid-May, late April. We're hoping to actually have the website running to where we can start taking pre-bookings. That's going to be the goal, is to be up and running for the peak season of the summer, and hopefully bring a whole bunch of people in to enjoy Bridgman.
We look forward to that, but we also look forward to understanding the full story about how you got here and your full plan for it. We'll talk about that this hour. We're talking with Nancy Kiernan, who's the director of the Bridgman CGA, the Chamber and Growth Alliance, and Jordan Painter, Keystone Home Group, and now the owner of the Warren Hotel on the site of the former Bridgman Inn. Maybe just a couple of notes about yourself, Jordan. Introduce yourself if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm a residential real estate broker primarily out of West Michigan, and I represent a group of investors that we buy and revitalize hospitality assets in Michigan.
Yeah. How did you find the Bridgman Inn?
So it's funny. We always joke. My business partner's wife seems to find all of our deals. I'm pretty
She's just on social media looking for. That looks like a deal. We could do that.
Right. And I can't remember if it was her or actually. Shout out to Matt Swab of he owns a farm bureau in the area.
Oh yeah.
We were working with him at one time trying to just find different properties to purchase. So I can't remember if it was either Matt or Lindsay that had found this roadside motel, and we approached them. This was probably 3.5 or 4 years ago. I believe it's sold twice since then.
Yep.
And every time it sold, we thought, shoot, we missed another opportunity, and we slept on it. And when we originally looked at it, we were still doing smaller projects, and it was just a little daunting to take on such a large project. At the time, it was actually 32 or 3 rooms before they ripped the front wing off.
It's deceptive because there's a whole bunch of rooms in the back.
It really is
And a
deceptive
pool and-
because when they rip that wing off, you could see to the back of it, and it's like, holy mackerel, that's a big property.
Right.
Yeah. So now there's 24 doors.
Okay.
And the owner suite is still there as well, which is on the right side of the building from the street.
Okay.
And so we approached the owners at the time and had some conversations with them, but really at the time didn't understand fully how to underwrite that deal and renovate. And so we've done some larger projects since then and felt a little bit more confident. So when it came on the market this time, we were really excited to execute and take over.
Yeah, that's exciting. So what state is the project in right now?
Yeah, so we closed January 30th, and we had our crew running. Commercial purchases take a while, so we had a couple of months of runway to get ready, but we had tear out almost complete the first week.
Okay.
So tear out is done. Everything, we were able to donate a lot of the furniture and all those things to a local charity.
Nice.
Which was nice. And so now the ceilings have been painted in some of the rooms.
Okay.
My wife is actually our designer, and so she's working overtime right now to get the room designs up and running. We're going to have 3 different designs for the building. So the front building and the middle building, there's 2 in the back. There's a building in the front and 2 in the back.
Okay.
We'll have 3 different designs. So the ceilings are being painted. The roof is going to be done this week. So I had some pictures yesterday I saw of the tear off and the redo there. So
wow. And I'm going to put a teaser out there. We should have had your wife in here. I want to ask about the motif, the design, the theme, what people can expect from it at the new Warren Hotel, which will, you say it's going to be open in May.
We're going to be taking bookings for mid-May. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll get that from Jordan Painter in just a few moments. Also hear more about the Bridgman CGA, what you've been up to, Nancy Kiernan. It's all going to be right here on the WSJM Morning Show this hour. We've got sports right now from Dave Wolf on the radio, continuing the conversation on our video live stream. All right, here we are on the video live stream. So let's not keep people in suspense. What's the motif? What are people going to feel when they walk into the hotel, the Warren Hotel?
So we're going for a very elevated, elegant feel. And so we're really working hard to tie in the whole property together. Right now, the front building was built in the 1950s. The 3 buildings in the back were built probably, I would have to guess, sometime in the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
And so they're totally different. They look different. The buildings in the back are brick, kind of a reddish brick color. And then the front building is not. And so we're going to tie everything in together from an exterior perspective.
Okay.
And then the overall flow of the property, we're just excited to really offer, we like to create a destination within a destination, right? So people could come and never leave the Warren Hotel, or they could go and enjoy the town and the dunes and all the things that Bridgman has to offer. So we really like to have both. And so we're going to be tying in. We already has a swimming pool, which is a huge benefit for us. We're going to have pickleball. We're going to have hot tub. We're going to have sauna, and some fire pits.
Oh, I love
some little
that.
walking trails in the back. You know, we find a lot of the people traveling are coming from big cities, and they love the green space.
I love the green space.
Mm-hmm. So really trying to take advantage of all that. And then the rooms will be, it's a little early to tell. We're still working on the design, but
hold one moment. We're going to get back on the radio. We're talking with Jordan Painter and Nancy Kiernan about the Bridgman Inn, which is no longer, it's the Warren Hotel. Coming up in mid-May is when they're going to book some rooms. Maybe you want to book one for your friends, family, relatives. Back in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're missing anything on the video live stream, you're missing a lot because we found out the motif. It's going to be 1930s, 1920s, 30s gangster style, right? No, it is not going to be that.
There's enough rumors floating around about this property to go that direction.
Who knows the history? Who has the history of this building? You said it built in the 1950s. What do you know?
Well, I have to say I remember probably the 70s iteration of it. And it was something that it was a family place. But I have to say it was in decline for quite a few years.
Can you come up closer to the microphone, Nancy? I'm sorry.
I have to say a lot of folks were very glad to see Jordan come along because it's just been declining for a long time.
Yeah.
And one of the owners came along at some point and just kind of lopped off. It used to be the Lazy V, and then they lopped off half of the building and it became the Lazy I. And so we really, it needed some love and care, frankly.
Yeah.
And a whole lot more than just a facelift. Yeah. So we were able to put Jordan and his folks in touch with some incentives for some new mechanicals and upgrades that it desperately needs. And he's got the gals that are going to give it the beautification that it desperately needs. And Bridgman and the surrounding area has a lot of fun things to do. And we'll get your friends outside of the hotel, and to enjoy the restaurants and all of the beautiful wineries and amenities that the area has to offer, but desperately needed someone to come in and really give it some love and care.
Yeah, it looked, from the roadside, we saw the for sale signs, like you mentioned, a couple of different times recently. And until you purchased it, people didn't really know what was going to happen to it. A lot of opportunity. You saw it. You saw its potential.
Yeah, so there's really not many options when you go from, I'd say, New Buffalo down to Stevensville probably is the closest legitimate hotel. So there's a big void there. And a lot of the areas in between are fairly heavy-handed on short-term rentals. Yeah. And so there's really not a ton of options for larger groups and for hotel experience, especially the elevated higher end. There really aren't great options. So we're excited to offer that and bring those people to Bridgman.
Yeah, because you think about trends these days, especially a lot of the younger clientele, they're looking for those bed and breakfasts. They're looking for not the bed and breakfast, the short-term rentals. They're looking on Vrbo and all that to see where can I stay that isn't like that hotel experience. So it seems a bit daring to go into the hotel thing, but you thought it's right.
Yeah, we really see opportunity. We're taking what we've learned. There's a gap between the short-term rental experience and a lot of the hotel experiences that you'll have. And so what we found is people really enjoy that elevated experience that they get in a short-term rental versus a traditional hotel. Yeah. And we're taking what we've learned from the hospitality side of, for example, self-check-in. People don't want to sit at a front desk for 20 minutes to get their keys. Yeah. So they can just come and they'll have a code to get in the room. So we're trying to make that experience a little bit more streamlined, a little bit easier for people. And also offering some of the things that short-term rentals offer as of the hot tubs and the saunas and some of those things that most hotels aren't going to have that large of an amenity stack in the outdoor spaces that we're going to be offering. So it's really an in-between for people that maybe they only want to do 1 or 2 nights. They don't need a week in a house, but they still want that elevated experience that they get from a short-term rental.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea and the elevated experience, and that it can be a destination. It's like maybe while mom and dad are relaxing by the pool, the kids go to the beach and enjoy themselves and come back. And kind of a nice deal.
Yeah, that's the idea. We also have really targeted the larger groups with a lot of our properties.
Okay.
And so if you want to stay with, let's say 20, 30 people, there's not too many options where you can book the whole thing. So we are going to be targeting some buyouts. I don't know that we'll do buyouts for the whole property.
Buyouts, for those who don't know, like me, what does that mean?
A buyout would be like you could rent the whole property
okay.
with your own group. And
wow.
So,
no wonder I don't know about this.
Yeah. So some of the properties that we have, we do that with. I don't know. This one's a little bit bigger, so I don't know that we would do the full buyout, but you could potentially buy out one of the buildings and have the balance between a group together, but then you also have your separate room and your separate space when you're sick of your family and you want to go close the door behind you.
Right?
You'll have the option to do that as well.
How did you, let's take a couple of steps back. How did you find the Bridgman property idea in the first place?
Yeah, so shout out to my business partner, Tony Stancato, actually his wife again.
Yeah.
She initially, we were looking, we had a short-term rental, and it had a fairly large capacity, but it was never enough. We always had people asking to bring 2 or 3 or 4 more people.
Yeah.
And so we're very safety conscious, and we really want to follow the rules and make sure that people have a safe environment. So we weren't really willing to push that envelope on how many people we would book. And so we started looking for opportunities to host larger groups. So Lindsay Stancato, my business partner's wife, found a property actually in Stevensville.
Okay.
That was kind of our first crack at. It's a 5-unit commercial building that was long-term. They converted it to long-term rental apartments. And so our thesis was we could purchase that building and rent it out. I think that one sleeps somewhere between 35 and 40 people comfortably.
Okay.
And so the benefit to that is we can book large groups. So you could book your whole family to come for a family reunion. And then if it's not booked, we can rent out individual rooms.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of our first crack at stepping out of the smaller single family up into a little bit larger projects. Okay.
And when the Bridgman Inn was brought to you as a potential idea, you looked at it and thought, what was your initial thought?
It was a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I brought some contractors through at the time, and it was earlier on in our career and our business. And so we didn't really have a great network, especially in this area.
Yeah.
And, it was just very difficult to get good, solid estimates and
for like contractors and such.
Exactly. To rehab a property that's that large was a little bit daunting for us. And over the last several years, we've grown our business down here. So we're excited to be employing somewhere probably between 20 or 30 people that are local to the area to help us to rebuild the hotel from pretty much from the roof down.
Yeah.
And so it's been a little bit easier this time around compared to what it was just sourcing contractors and finding good help and getting it done. And we've done several larger projects now, so we have a little bit better idea how to prepare a scope of work and get estimates that are reasonably accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen the HGTV shows. There's always a surprise.
There is always a surprise.
What'd you find?
So
can you talk about it?
I've heard rumors that I won't repeat on the air.
Yeah.
So we haven't found anything yet.
Okay.
There's not been any.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone might be buried under part of it. We've heard.
Oh boy.
We haven't found any bodies yet, but
thank goodness.
Yeah. So far, no big surprises. I think the last kind of big puzzle piece we're dealing with now, we're still working on the exterior design for the front building because it looks like somebody took a hacksaw to the side of it. And
yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they pretty much
literally did.
It was a sawzall. Yeah.
Exactly.
The building inspector actually at one point said that they had to stop them because they were at risk of taking down a wall that was supporting. And so
wow.
So we're still in the process of getting some ideas for design for that front building because we really understand it is an eyesore, and it has been for a long time. And we really want that first experience when people drive up to that building to just be a wow factor.
Yeah.
We want it to be something that the residents of Bridgman will be proud to see and drive by every day. And so that is the last piece. I wouldn't say a surprise, but it's going to be quite the undertaking to make that building appealing visually. So.
That's really exciting. We're talking with Jordan Painter. He's part of the crew that is rehabbing the Bridgman Inn. It's no longer the Bridgman Inn. The sign is gone. It's now the Warren Hotel, and they're going to take bookings when you open it up in April for bookings in May.
Late April is the goal to start taking bookings for mid-May.
I feel a little pinch of nervousness every time I say that. You're going to be good though, right?
We are going to be good. We are going to have it open. Yep. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, I saw that pinch right there.
Right?
Yeah, I
See?
did.
That's a good conservative contractor. He knows.
Absolutely.
He knows what's going on. Where do you get furniture for a hotel? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So
Not that I have a hotel, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, my wife is designing it, and so
You
she
see,
sources
it's all,
stuff.
all the women behind, they're behind this.
I don't do anything. This is what I do. I just talk about it. I just talk about it. Everyone else does the work. This is the fun part.
I love it.
So yeah, my wife does. I know she orders a lot of stuff. We have a wafer account that is kind of
the chief shoppers in your organization.
Yeah. So she sources stuff everywhere. I just saw on social media actually this morning she was looking for some specific type of paint swatch that she couldn't find anywhere. So she really goes all out to find and design the projects that we do, and she does a great job. So I don't know where she sources everything, but she has a pretty wide array of resources. How long have you been doing this kind of work? So we purchased our first short-term rental in 2021.
Okay.
So we're about 4.5, 5 years into the business.
Okay.
And then we rolled up property management within about 6 months of purchasing our first property. We started offering management services to other people.
What does the management service offer?
So Book and Gather is a full service property management company for short-term rentals. So we help with, if necessary, we have people that will help with design. We help with photography. We have one of the best photographers in Michigan. Shout out to Cody Lynn. He really is incredible. There's a difference between taking pictures and painting a picture and telling a story.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job with that. We take bookings, we market it on different platforms to get bookings. We manage the finances. We manage the profit and loss statements and everything. So really, from the nuts and bolts of running it to collecting the money and booking the tenants and communicating with the guests and everything else. So full service. Yeah. Why did you decide to get into this? How did you get into this? Yeah. So my business partner and I love traveling. Yeah. And so we thought, why wouldn't we use kind of a lifestyle business where we can support our love of travel and getting around along with doing the business. And so we started looking at a lot of other markets, and a lot of the markets that you will look at nationally that you could name. So any vacation destination that you can name, it's too late to buy there and actually get any type of return on investment. And so we started looking locally in Michigan and just kind of stumbled across Southwest. We're from Grand Rapids area. My business partner's Kalamazoo. So, you go north, right? So our whole life we've gone up north. And so this was a little bit of a blind spot to us. My wife had spent quite a bit of time here. Again.
The women are the thinkers, Nancy.
She did, yeah. So that she would come down here and stay with different scrapbooking things and like with some of her lady friends. And we kind of stumbled across it and just realized what a gem it really is. Being so close to some of the major metropolitan areas and just the beaches. And so, we kind of stumbled into this area. We bought our first one. And then a couple of months in, we kind of realized that property management is very difficult, and we can't be the only idiots that bought a short-term rental thinking that they were just going to run it themselves. And so all of the complexity that came along with it. My business partner is just such a great systems person and just did a really good job getting the systems running well. And
when you say systems,
systems for running the short-term rental and just guest communication and giving really, we focus on experience. The experience that our guests have is of utmost importance to us. If we get anything less than a 5-star review, I don't think he sleeps for a week. Yeah. And so really saw some opportunity in the area of expanding and offering that service to other people. So we started that in 2021, 22 range. And then due to some of the regulation in the area, in really all of Michigan with short-term rentals, we thought made the decision to kind of go in a different direction and give the townships and the municipalities what they want. They want people to go to the commercial properties and to experience, the hotel and to stay out of the neighborhoods more so. And so that's kind of where we've decided to direct our investments is offering amazing experiences for people that aren't going to have a negative impact on the community and in some of the neighborhoods. Yeah, I think if you put that into ChatGPT or any AI engine right now and said, "Hey, what's the next wave of stays stays in a hotel or a B&B or short-term rental?" It would say the next wave
is giving people that same short-term rental type experience, but in the experience that you're giving them, the hotel.
Right.
Because again, you talk about the patchwork of regulations in every village, every township, every municipality. The regulations could be different and costly, right?
Yeah, they're changing. They're just changing so quickly. We put an offer in on a house. Actually, it was the first house we put an offer on in 2 or 3 years in Chickamine Township.
Yeah.
And the day after, they put a moratorium on short-term rentals.
You were the one.
The heck with it, we're done.
Yeah.
So there's still opportunities for short-term rentals, and we still really take that that business very seriously. We think there's still a lot of great growth opportunities for that, and we love to help people to manage those. But it does come with some complexity that the commercial side does not.
Yeah. So is this your first commercial venture? Hotel wise?
No, this is our fourth
hotel.
one. Yeah. So we have the Winmore Lodge up in Grayling, Michigan.
Okay.
That's the only property we have outside of Southwest Michigan. So that was our first crack at a hotel. We also have a 5-unit on Red Arrow, and then we actually purchased the Red Arrow cabins as well recently in Sawyer. And then we had another one that we had developed in South Haven that we since sold, that was also a multifamily conversion.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. We're going to continue this conversation. We're talking with Jordan Painter, now of the Warren Hotel, formerly the Bridgman Inn. We're also talking with Nancy Kiernan, director of the Greater Bridgman Area Chamber and Growth Alliance. We'll continue this conversation on the video live stream right now. Here on the radio, we've got a couple of important messages to get to. We'll also have our latest financial news coming up from Bloomberg, our latest world and national news from ABC, local news preview, sports, and more. It is the WSJM Morning Show. Okay, back on the video live stream. What'd you say? What's going on?
I said that we're really glad, actually, to see the investment in Bridgman. And we saw a lot of great investment in the commercial areas this year. And I think Bridgman is really very lucky to have had this kind of investment. We saw $3 million worth of investment just with the folks we were working with as a Chamber of Commerce. And that's really great for us, for a community the size of Bridgman.
Yeah.
You know, we talked last time about the Ace Hardware. We've got the Bridgman. I'm sorry, I'm going to get it right.
That's
the Warren Hotel.
Okay.
But you know, and it's not just the purchase price; it's the money that they're putting in to rehabilitate these properties.
Yeah.
And what that means for the community is, one, we get this great amenity, but we're also seeing property tax revenue for these communities. And what that means is we're going to be able to fix roads and we're going to have street lighting and other things. And that's really important from our perspective, because that's how we improve our communities and how we provide amenities, and it also raises the property values of adjacent property owners. So it's really important to keep that in mind, that when somebody's doing good things next door, it has that spillover effect. And we've just had a really good year in Bridgman, and I think we're on the map in terms of a good place to invest, and we want to keep that momentum going. So that's why we want to spread the good news about what people like Jordan what they're doing in our community.
Yeah, no, that's a good message to share, Nancy, because again, investment brings additional investment, especially if it's done in a smart way. It sounds like Jordan's on that track right now. What did it take to get Jordan to seal the deal here from the Bridgman CGA's perspective?
Well, I think he was looking for a while, like you said. Like, I think there was a 3-year burn on this, right? And I think it helps to have somebody down the block, his friend Matt Swab, who also purchased a building this year on Red Arrow Highway, and that builds confidence, right? Somebody probably, and then having somebody, you know, who I think when we met you, we were very happy to have and bring any kind of incentive we can to the party. And the other thing, I think that the chamber's very, we believe that we will do the research to find the right incentive. I mean, sometimes there's tax abatements out there, and that's a very good tool, but we will also dig deeper to find something that we can apply to your project that's beyond the tax incentive. Because let's just say it like it is. Tax incentives erode the tax base. So they're not our go-to incentive. We look for other things. We had a industrialist in town that is adding 80,000 square feet. And we talked about that previously too. And we found a MDOT program that we got $1.5 million grant to build new roads in Bridgman.
Yeah.
And the MEDC grant that's helping us re-up our master plan. That's through another grant, through another one of our state partners. So those incentives are really putting Bridgman on the map. And that's what a chamber can do for a community. And I think we're attracting investment through those incentives. And we've got great partners, and that helps us attract other great partners like Jordan and his team. So I think that's part of the story here.
Excellent. Okay, we're talking with Nancy Kiernan, director of the Bridgman CGA, and Jordan Painter of the Warren Hotel. It's all here on the WSJM Morning Show. We'll continue the conversation after news here on WSJM.
Wall Street with an upbeat financial outlook. Target is giving a forecast for the year that topped expectations. This shows that the retailer is making progress in its turnaround. The company has struggled recently, and it's trying to change its fortunes by improving its merchandise, refreshing its stores, and integrating new technology into its operations. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:36. You know, you give me 4 or 5 espressos, and I'm good to go.
Absolutely.
No. Nancy was saying it's been one dry winter, and in fact, I don't think she'd mind me sharing this. My wife Stephanie said that she went to the eye doctor, get her eyes checked out, the regular checkup, and the doctor confirmed, the optometrist confirmed, it's been a really dry winter. A lot of people complaining about the dryness of the eyes and everything else. I've noticed it in my throat, and it's just like, man, can we get some moisture here? We're going to get it this week. It's going to rain. Nothing but rain all week long. So sorry. We asked for it. Let's talk about the weather. By the way, we're talking with Jordan Painter and Nancy Kiernan. They're talking about the Warren Hotel and the Bridgman CGA. It's an exciting development happening down in the Bridgman area. 31 degrees. We'll continue that conversation in a moment. 31 degrees in Benton Harbor, 31 in cloudy in St. Joseph, 29 in cloudy in South Haven right now. The forecast for today does call for cloudy skies, a 50% chance of rain, but the high is going to be around 45 degrees. Tonight's forecast, cloudy skies, another 40% chance of rain, a low of 33. Wednesday's forecast, mostly cloudy, rain chance, high around 50. Thursday, 70% chance of rain, a high around 55. And then Friday, even though there's a 50% chance of rain and mostly cloudy skies, it's going to be around 64 degrees. We'll take it. Friday and Saturday, 64 for the high. All right, more news coming up. We've got the latest world and national news now on U.S. strikes on Iran and more. It's here on WSJM. We'll be back with a local news preview in a moment. News is next. Brought to you by Creative Landscaping and Design. Creating landscapes for life for over 50 years. Family owned in Southwest Michigan.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Hundreds of people reported dead in Iran. The Iranian Red Crescent says 787 have died in the U.S. and Israeli attacks. President Trump keeping the option open for sending in troops. Here's ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers.
This was with the New York Post, where he said, I don't have the yips, as he put it, with respect to boots on the ground. The president said, I say probably don't need them, or if they were necessary.
The fighting sending oil prices up. They've jumped another 7% just today. Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says that just adds to pressure at the pump.
And refinery maintenance set to increase the pinch at the pump in the weeks ahead. By Memorial Day, gas prices on average could be 25 to 40 cents a gallon higher.
Iran threatening to hit any ship passing through the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia struck by a drone today. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Thank you for joining us on the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. 7:39 is the time. Some of the news stories we have coming up from the newsroom at a little after 8 o'clock. Congressman Tim Walberg says the U.S. strikes now underway against Iran are actions he believes should have happened earlier. So we'll have a little bit more with our interview with area Congressman Tim Walberg. That's coming up just after 8 o'clock. Also, the Baroda Village Council has voted to seek a written legal opinion on a petition calling for the village to disincorporate and be absorbed into Baroda Township. Some controversy there, some questions being raised about conflict of interest. That story's coming up just after 8 o'clock. And unfortunately, a home in St. Joseph, a total loss after a fire yesterday. Crews dispatched shortly after 12 noon to the 1300 block of Black Hawk Trail on an island in the St. Joe River. The fire department there says the home a total loss. Fortunately, no injuries reported. So we'll have those stories and more. That's coming up just after 8 right here on WSJM. It's 7:40. Sports coming up after a look at state news.
The Michigan News.
Okay, back on the video live stream here. We're going all over the place with this interview, Jordan, so my apologies. But Jordan Painter is here. He is with Keystone Home Group, and then you also have Book and Gather, which is a what do you call it again?
Property management.
Property management company here in Southwest Michigan. You have a number of properties that you manage, and as if that weren't enough, you're undertaking the renovation, the whole remake of what used to be the Bridgman Inn, now the Warren Hotel. So, give us a little bit of your background. What's your origin story? Where were you born?
I was actually born in New Orleans, Louisiana.
No kidding.
Southern blood, but
Okay.
yeah, grew up in West Michigan, Wyoming, Granville area.
Okay.
Moved there when I was young. So.
You ever get back to Louisiana?
I have not. No,
Really?
I have not. I've always wanted to, but it's just
You know they have a party there every year.
They do. I started young with children, and
Okay.
so that has not been the atmosphere when we're taking family
Smart.
vacations that we've decided to go to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. I yearn to go to Louisiana as well. I love crawfish.
Yeah. Yeah. That Cajun food will get you for
Yeah,
sure.
it's good stuff. So how did you end up in West Michigan, and what did you do from there?
Yeah, so my dad was in seminary actually when I was born down in New Orleans, and then we moved to Wyoming when I was little.
The state of Wyoming.
Wyoming, Michigan. Sorry.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, Wyoming, Michigan, and then grew up in Granville, and yes, pretty much never left West Michigan.
Okay.
So,
All right, and then you got into this business. How did you ever work in construction?
When I got into real estate, I had a construction property management company briefly. This was probably 2008, 2009. If anybody remembers, the economy was not great back then.
Yeah,
So
housing market took a little bit of a turn then.
it was rough. So
Yeah.
we did that for a little while. So I've never done a ton in construction, just a little stint then.
Okay.
But I've remodeled properties several times and over the years, and we do quite a bit of flipping as well. So.
What's the biggest challenge when you get into a flip?
I would say timing, and then just the unforeseen. New construction, you kind of know what's coming. Many times with remodels, you don't know what you're going to find until you start ripping things out, and so it can be tough
Unforeseen conditions.
Unforeseen conditions, yeah. So those can cause month or two delays, which can impact the timeline.
Time is money, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but none of those that you found so far. Well, maybe one.
So far, yeah, we really have been fortunate. I just got to give a shout out to Nancy and Sarah Spoonholtz at the township. They've been just amazing to work with, and this type of project, to be able to work with a community that really is excited to have us has made it tremendously easier for us to operate and to get going. And I just can't thank you enough for all the support that we've experienced so far, and just excited to continue the relationship. So
Yeah, it feels like Bridgman's a very friendly community. So it's good that they have Nancy as the face.
I'll tell you though, it's really, we've got a great team in general at the city. The city manager, Deb Lambricks. I got to say, I sit next to the zoning and building code inspector.
Oh boy.
And he keeps everybody straight. He's got the toughest job in the city, but he's also the guy that helps you get to a yes. And that is the toughest job. And he gets it right. And I just think we sit down before you get started and help you get there so that you have minimal disruptions to your rehabilitation. And that's, I think, a really important thing, to come in before you get started and let us work with you to make your project go smoothly. And that's what we want to do in Bridgman. And that's part of what we're doing, again, with the help of MEDC and Redevelopment Ready Communities. That's what the title means, redevelopment ready communities, so that when developers come in, we make it easy for them to take a project forward, not difficult. And that's what we want to do in Bridgman. We want people to feel like we are friendly and willing to help and want you to be here.
Yeah, talking about redevelopment ready, I mean, you've been burning through properties, Nancy, filling them up. I mean, like you mentioned, the Ace Hardware, you've got the Bridgman Inn now off your books. What else is available? You got any lots? You got anything you want to put out there?
We're talking to owners of property every single day, and we're working with existing businesses to expand. We're working with Emma Hearth and Market right now to expand. We're working with Transient Artisan Ales right now to expand. And we've just got a lot going on there, and it's kind of popping.
Yeah.
And I think that we've got a good base of businesses, and we just are looking to see more and more and more. And we're very excited about the activity that we've got right now.
Is Emma Hearth going to be the official pizza sponsor of the Warren Hotel?
You know, we would love to do some kind of a kickoff celebration with the community. We're still in the works, you know, with a tight timeline and coming into the hot market. We're hoping to make it happen, so stay tuned on that.
Get your wife on that.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, yeah, she's not busy at all. Yeah. So.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, what do you have planned when things are ready to go?
So I guess first of all, just is if people want to follow the journey, a couple areas they can do that. So we have a hotel up and running. It's www.staythewarren.com.
Oh, okay.
And also Instagram is Stay the Warren, if you look us up on Instagram. And then on Facebook, we have the Warren Hotel. So if you follow those, we are really excited to share the journey of the rehabilitation that's happening. We will be collecting information and email. So if you or someone you know is going to want to book it, we're going to be taking pre-bookings at some point, like I said, late April. We're really hoping to roll that out. So the people that are on that list will be the first to get opportunities to really book it out and see it. And so we're hoping, as I said, we're hoping to have kind of a kickoff with the community and invite people in to come and see it and kind of do the unveiling and potential. There was a ribbon cutting mentioned potentially. And so really want to make that happen. And a lot of it's just going to depend on our ability to execute and get the project finished on time. So.
Okay. All right. We're talking with Jordan Painter, Keystone Home Group, and the new owner of the Warren Hotel in Bridgman. We'll talk with him and Nancy Kiernan, director of the Bridgman CGA, in just a moment. This is the WSJM Morning Show.
During the day, chances of rain increase on Wednesday night with high temperatures in the upper 40s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's 7:47 on Tuesday, March 3rd. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. We're going to make this part of our Moody on the Market update, our interview this hour. Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. During the Moody on the Market update, we usually point you to articles that we have posted at moodyonthemarket.com, which is a great place to go if you want business news, business updates, if you want to know a little bit more about life in Southwest Michigan and why we love it here, and interesting people you should know. And in the studio this morning, I think we check all three buckets there. All three boxes are checked. Jordan Painter is here. Nancy Kiernan is here from the Bridgman CGA. And Jordan has been busy turning the Bridgman Inn into the Warren Hotel. They bought the property. You closed on the deal in January. It's currently under renovation. You said you're going to go down and take a look at the roof this morning?
Yeah, they did the initial tear out yesterday, and I think the building in the back was finished. And so it's well underway.
Okay.
The three back buildings are all pitch shingle roofs, and then the front one, actually, thank goodness, the flat roof portion was a little bit newer. Yeah. And so we're not going to have to do that one. So.
Are people going to recognize the Warren Hotel as being a former Bridgman Inn?
I hope not.
Yeah.
The goal is to drive by and see something that's brand new and from the top down just looks completely refreshed and renewed.
I mean, it sounds like you're going through the entire place, gutting it and just redoing the whole thing. So that I love what you have on Instagram here. The description of the Warren Hotel. If you're looking on Instagram, Stay the Warren is what you search for. You describe it as a boutique hotel, Southwest Michigan Lakeshore, close enough to be spontaneous, far enough to actually exhale. Who came up with that? Your wife, I bet.
We've got,
because she's the brains of the operation,
amazing people,
and that's why she sent him here to talk to me.
Well, so Stephanie Weber with Weber Design Group, she is helping us with a lot of the branding and stuff like that. She is very good. Yeah, and I'm excited to see. Actually, she's working closely with my wife on some of the design elements and what we're aiming for. So it's gonna be really cool when it's finished.
Okay. As part of our Moody on the Market update, why don't you give us the pitch again for people who might just be tuning in? What can they expect when they stay at the Warren?
Yeah, so the idea is the moment you drive up into the parking lot, you're going to feel like you are on vacation, and you're just going to have this elevated experience of leisure, along with, again, to create a destination where you can come and you don't have to leave, but there's so many other things to do in this area that people are going to be able to take advantage of. So it's really just the best of both worlds of coming to a place that just feels like you're in an oasis. From the minute you drive in, with the swimming pool and the pickleball courts and the hot tub and the sauna, the fire pits, and all the amenities that we're going to have to enjoy on site, along with the walkability and bike rideability to the different dunes and parks that Bridgman has to offer.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the interview the avatar for the location, the persona, the type of personality and people that you're looking for, the clientele. What kind of clientele are you going to look at? Who should look at staying here?
So we're really looking to establish a market here for some higher end people that are willing to pay a premium to have an experience. We're not going exclusive adults, but that's going to be definitely our main marketing. It will be welcome to everyone, but we really want it to feel like a relaxing experience. And so if you see the marketing, you're not going to see kids splashing in the pool. You're going to see adults lounging next to it.
Yeah.
And so that's really the people that we're going to be targeting is people looking to have a quiet, relaxing, peaceful, tranquil trip to West Michigan.
Do you have future plans laid out yet for what you want next to it?
As far as
other places, restaurants, bars, nightclubs.
We would love to see, it's interesting, the balance between, again, you go from New Buffalo to call it St. Joseph, and there's really not much from an entertainment standpoint, but people still come. And so part of me wonders if people even want that. If they want
if it hasn't come up yet, maybe they don't.
So I think just having nice walkable restaurants and bars to go to, I think is crucial. But as far as entertainment,
I will say Lake Time Brew is doing very well with their entertainment space.
Okay.
They have music often, they have comedy, and they've got a gathering space that is rentable to folks as well for whatever kind of gathering they might want to have.
Yeah.
And they're doing well with the entertainment. And some of the other, the Haymarket Tap Room is having entertainment. And so folks are kind of, they actually eating up the music scene. And I think that's kind of fun too. And that definitely kicks into high gear more in the summer. The Courtyard on Lake Street also has music in the summer. Now I have to say this year, they will be in construction in what we call the Courtyard Phase 2, which again is another wonderful thing we're doing in Bridgman this year. So they won't have the concerts in the Courtyard, but everybody loves music in the summer too.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that Bridgman is tapping into.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and we have, like you say, we have a number of establishments who are doing that right now, and they're doing it very well. We just need more.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Jordan, put it on the to-do list.
Yeah,
Here
I
we
love
go.
the idea. I love the idea of having walkable things from that. People really like to have that, not to have to get in a car and drive and park. And so the more opportunities people have for that, the better.
Yep.
Okay, 7:53 WSJM Morning Show. That's the Moody on the Market update for this hour. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We'll continue our conversation with Jordan Painter and Nancy Kiernan, director of the Bridgman CGA. That's coming up in just a moment right here on WSJM.
Rich Brand and Tara Causey from
Okay, still on the video live stream. So Nancy, we haven't spoken since the Chamber's Business Recognition Breakfast.
Gosh, that was such a great
Wasn't that
breakfast.
fun?
That was a lot of fun.
For those who missed it, what did you take away? What was your takeaway from that great event?
Well, you walk in and there's an empty room, right? And then 600 people show up.
Yeah.
And it's just a great party, and it's great to see that many people all getting together and want to do something for Berrien County and Southwest Michigan, and all the businesses represented there and pulling together to get things done. And it's great to see a recap of all we've gotten accomplished this year too. And that just, again, it's just great to see people pulling together to make things happen. It was a great day. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then we had our annual meeting.
That's right.
God, I guess it was just last week. It just seems like we're moving so fast.
How'd it go?
It was great. And I think for me and Jordan came, and it was more of a party than a meeting, wasn't it? It was just a really nice evening. And again, I think when you're working together and you feel like there's a sense of accomplishment, it just really feels good. I'm just really proud of what we're getting done, and I'm very happy for the sense of camaraderie in the group that's getting it done. I think that's a really nice thing to be able to have.
For people who want more information about things that are happening through the Bridgman CGA, where can they go for information?
Much to my chagrin, I got to say the Facebook
Yeah.
page is probably the best
That's
place
fine.
to do it.
We like Facebook.
Well, I have to say I'm a convert. I've never been the big social media person, but everybody else is, so I've given up. It's become kind of fun, I have to say.
Yeah.
If you can forget the folks that just kind of jump on to be negative, it is kind of fun to track people that are having fun with Facebook and to see what other people are doing.
Yeah, don't look at the comments.
I've warmed up to it. Yeah, I've warmed
Don't
up
look
to
at the
it.
comments.
Don't look at the comments. Just the video that you see and people being creative with Facebook. It does tell a story, and it is about storytelling.
I want to say good morning to Bill, John, Diane, and others who are there. I think Teresa's out there. Stephanie's out there as well. And Karen Van der Veer Poland says,
there you go, my buddy.
Yeah, she basically just yelled, Nancy! And that's it.
I'm glad she didn't call me Fancy, because that's what her nickname is for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Fancy Nancy?
Yeah. She's my Cubs buddy, so we go
Oh, I'm
see
sorry.
the Cubs on a regular.
Yeah.
Our mothers were Cubs fans
How do
together.
you feel about the Indiana Bears, the Hammond Bears?
I don't feel anything about them.
You think the Chicago Bears are going to move to Hammond, Indiana?
If that's what they want to do.
There was a look in her eye that daggers just came out.
Absolutely. You know what? Chicago has been loyal to their teams.
There we go.
And they should be loyal to Chicago, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll.
Just that simple.
I think Chicago will probably win in the end on this
I would
one.
hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, 7:57. She's angry. We'll get more from Jordan and Nancy. We'll wrap up this interview in just a couple of minutes right here on WSJM. Thanks for tuning in.
Man said, well, you came out of our district, but we'll check on it. Well, Mr. McGee, Scott, called me up. He said, look, come on, look at it. He says, he gave me a price. It was an excellent price. And they put a gas furnace in, propane, and they service it twice a year. And you don't even know it's running. This is so clean and nice and quiet. And the price was an excellent price. So yes, I do. I recommend Scott McGee. Yeah, good people.
Feel at ease with McGee. Your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Wait till I put the microphone on for that, Nancy. All right. No, it's 7:58, just a couple of minutes left here in the WSJM Morning Show. We were talking about the Bears and whether or not they'll move to Indiana. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. But we've been talking this hour with Jordan Painter. He's the new owner of the Warren Hotel. How many owners do you have with this?
So we have 6 partners on this deal.
Okay, 6. How's that? That must be like herding cats. Everyone have an opinion?
We've been very fortunate. My business partners and I have worked very hard over the past 5 years to develop good relationships. And so our partners, we're having a ball. They actually they're loving it. It's really been fun, and they love the community support and just the process. So it's been a lot of fun.
Quickly, what do you do when you're not doing this? This sounds like a full-time job plus. But what do you do for fun? What do you do for R&R?
Yeah, so I have 3 kids and a grandkid. So I spend a lot of time chasing kids around.
You have a grandkid?
I do.
Look at you.
Yeah, yep.
No wonder you shave your head.
I know. Yeah, the gray is popping out every day.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, so so a lot of time with the family and pretty active. So like to be traveling around and staying active. So
kids stay in Michigan?
Yep, kids are all in Michigan. Yep, my oldest works with me, and my younger 2 are still in school. So.
Nice. You get out, you enjoy nature, you read books. What do you do?
Yeah, I love to read, love to learn, love to grow. Love sports. So love training. I actually train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm a big UFC fan. And so
so cool.
Stay busy doing that. And
Bears or Lions?
Oh boy,
come on, you can say it.
I I would love to jump on the Lions bandwagon.
Yeah.
But they just can't get it together.
Well, that's true.
Unfortunately. So,
We're hoping. All right.
We're
Well,
hoping.
Jordan, it's been a pleasure talking with you this morning. Nancy, it's always been a pleasure having you in the studio
Thank
here.
you.
Absolutely. If you want more information about the Warren Hotel, go to Stay the Warren either on Facebook or Instagram. Best places?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best for the Warren Hotel. It's at the site of the former Bridgman Inn. You want more information? Go back and listen to this interview. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News.